Alright, so for this tutorial I'm going to be using Windows 10, but you can do this on a Mac. It's not going to really matter. Basically, all you need is Android Studio installed for this tutorial, so you don't need to know how to use it yet, but basically you're just going to get it to this window that's going to open up pretty soon, and it's going to be this one right here. So it'll probably say new project, open, or get from VCS. It might look a little bit different than mine, but it's all pretty much the same. Basically, what we need to do first before we can actually get into this guide is we need to go to the first link in the description of the video, which is the official FTC robot controller, coding, whatever, coding project software. If you're used to onbot Java, this is going to be a little bit different because instead of everything being saved onto your robot, it's going to be saved onto your computer, and then you're going to build it directly to your robot. So, it's a little bit different how it's set up, but basically all you want to do on this page, you just want to click download zip, and it'll probably download right to your desktop or downloads or whatever. What I'm going to do is you're going to need to go to your downloads. It's going to be in a .zip format. If you're using a Mac, it'll probably just unextract it for you, but on Windows, right click, extract all, click extract. There you go. And then basically you're going to get this page, I mean not this page, this file right here. What I like to do is I like to right click and rename this. So I'm just going to name this, I like to name it my team number, and then I just do like code example. And you don't have to write just your camera code or whatever into this. If you've never used FTC, you can write any robotics code you want into this. And what I'm going to do is I like to put on my desktop, I mean not my desktop, my documents, because then I won't lose it. So once we're done with that, click on the Open in Android Studio, and then it'll probably bring you to this menu right here. Well, basically for me and pretty much everyone else, depending on where you put it, you just want to find the directory and copy that. And then I'm just going to paste it right there. And then if it's all set up, it'll say, we found it, and have the little Android icon. So just click OK. That's probably the most hardest part of this tutorial right there. Is getting this pop-up, which it's not that hard. So what you want to do is you just want to click out of that, and then you want to go to the build tab down here. The build tab in Android Studio, if it's kind of like on onbot Java, it's like the bottom part. It pretty much just tells you how your build went. Was it successful? Was it not? All that kind of stuff. So this is going to say loading, and this is going to be configuring a lot of stuff. You just want to let it do its thing. This part is probably going to take the longest. Basically, this part is, it's actually, it has to build on its own everything first. But it should say build successful if it was all done correctly, which, I mean, it should. Then just click escape. And then it'll probably put you on the Android section, but if it doesn't, it puts you on project. Just click on Android. And then you want to click on the team code, like so, kind of like that, and then click on Java. Once you're at this step, that's awesome. You're pretty much, you're closer. So what you want to go now is you want to go to the second link in the description, and it'll go to the OpenFTC OpenCV GitHub page. What you want to do is just scroll all the way down. You don't want to download it. You don't want to click this. You don't really need that. What you want to do though is go to these instructions. So you can also do this on onbot Java, but I mean it's a lot more easier on Android Studio. So I mean, I'm just going to do it on Android Studio. But what I'm going to do first is you got to open up your project. Okay, we've already done that. You want to go to the build.gradle file and find your team code modules. So this is going to be probably a little bit tricky because this is basically what it's looking for. You want to go to the Gradle scripts, and it's going to have a lot of things. You don't want this module, so you don't actually, this is the one you want this one. So I'm just going to Command Z that because I don't know what that was, but it'll say build.gradle, build.gradle, build.gradle. You want the module with your team code, .team code. You want this one. You want the one that says .jar in the dependencies. All right, so once you're at this one, awesome. That's great. You're right where you want to be. And then what you want to do is you just want to copy it so you can highlight it, but GitHub is awesome, and they just put a little thingy right there. So now just paste it right in. Great. So once you're done with that, go back to your browser, and then it wants you to go and locate the build.com and Gradle file. So pretty much what it's asking is once you go to this file, get rid of this reference. So what I like to do is just copy that, go to your Android Studio and the build.com and Gradle, and then just do Command F or Control F, and then just paste that in. There should be 2 spots right here, so just delete that, you know. Actually, don't want to delete all of that. You want to keep this one right here. This one, perfect. Keep that. Go back, and then what it's going to say is now perform a Gradle sync. You're probably not going to know what that is if you've never really used Android Studio, but it'll probably just say up here sync now, and then click on the build tab, and pretty much it's going to rebuild your code again. It's kind of frustrating, but you know, it only took 4 seconds for us, so great. Now what you want to do is go back, and we've got one more thing that we have to do. So pretty much we have to download a file, and we actually have to stick it onto our control hub or phone or whatever you're using to control your robot. Basically, this is the actual file that allows OpenCV to work. So you're just going to click download, and you actually have to plug in your control hub / phone into your PC or Mac, and you have to actually drag over this file. So I'll kind of explain what I mean. So what you're first off going to do is I'm going to, with the included orange USB-C cable, I'm going to plug my control hub into my computer. Basically, if you have a phone, same thing, just plug it in via USB. You don't have to have the included USB-C cord either, just one that is for your control hub. And then I'm going to plug it in like so, and there it is. So it'll probably say internal shared storage, and basically you're going to have all these files here, and then what you want to do is you just want to click on the first folder, and then for me it's already in here, so let me just get rid of that real quick. So like so it'll probably look like this, right? So now what you want to do is I'm just going to pull up my downloads folder, and you just want to copy it over, so just drag it like so. Okay. Also, to know, if you're using a Mac, you're going to need to download the Android file transfer app from Google's website in order to actually connect to the Rev control hubs, or you know, the phones with the robot controller software on it. I don't know why, that's just an Apple thing, but it's kind of like how you originally installed Android Studio. You just click on a bunch of buttons, and it'll show up kind of like in a menu like on Windows. It'll be all fine. There should be a little video that's kind of doing it on screen right now. So anyways, once you have that file in there, great. You can leave your robot connected. It doesn't really matter. But you pretty much have, OpenCV installed. So that's great. But just because we OpenCV installed doesn't mean, we actually have any code written. So what you first off want to do is you want to go back, click on the third link in the description, this one right here, and this is the FTC April Tag plugin. Now you might be asking, what the heck is an April Tag, and why do I really care? Well, these are what April Tags are. These are our built-in library of what are essentially little QR codes that your camera will scan. So in FTC Power Play, you have obviously the 3 things on the cones. Those can be technically whatever you want, but you could also add your own, images or whatever. But because these are little QR codes and they're black and white, they're easy to recognize. Also, they're built in, and you don't really have to do a lot to, get these to work. So it's just easier for me and probably for you at the same time. So we're just going to go back to this GitHub project. It's also made by OpenFTC, just like, this other one. And yeah, you don't want to click the download code. You just want to go down to the instructions. Now it's going to ask open the build.gradle file for the module one. So again, kind of like before, you got to add another dependency. Just click copy like so, go back, and then what it's going to do is, I already have it open, but again, it would be this one right here. And then just under the OpenFTC or OpenCV, just paste that one in again. And then pretty much go back. Is there anything else they want us to do? Nope. Perform a Gradle sync. So yeah, pretty simple. This also shouldn't take a long time. There's not really a lot to do. And done. It was done in 2 seconds. That's awesome. Okay. And then pretty much you're all done with the setting up part. Now we actually have to write the code. So what I like to do is just click on the examples, because we're going to be using these a lot. there's pretty much two things that we're going to be using. We're going to be using, first off, this April tag autonomous detection example.java, which we're going to modify into our own code. And then basically we're also going to be using April tag detection pipeline.java. Pretty similar, just want to open these in new tabs. First off, what we're going to do is we're just going to make two new files on our Android Studio. So I believe this one is the April tag detection pipeline. So you need both of these codes. This one, the April tag detection pipeline.java, we're not very much going to change. We're going to keep it the same. And this is pretty much just the background stuff for the camera to actually work. We don't really care about all the stuff in here. I mean, we need it obviously, but we're not going to be changing it. And then this one is actually where we're going to be writing all of our code. So it's going to be great. Everything's going to work, and it's going to be very much awesome. Okay, so hopefully what we're going to do now is we're going to go here and we're just going to copy all of this code. So what we're going to do now, go to our Android Studio, close out of the Gradle scripts because we don't need them anymore. What we're going to go back to is Java, so obviously team code, Java, and we're just going to click new Java class. But what we can also do is we can create new package. Now, why would you want to create a new package? Well, it's pretty much just organization. So I just like to do OpenCV and then just do OK. And then what we'll do is right click new Java class. And then what we're going to do is, because we don't want to have any conflicts with building stuff, we're just going to do April tag detection pipeline.java, go back, paste it in, enter, like that. So now we have all this right here. We're going to go back to the thing and we're just going to copy this code, and that'll be all great. So paste that in. Now it'll all be happy. There shouldn't be any problems with this. Also, if we open our OpenCV now, we have the April tag detection whatever. You will have one error though, and that is at the top. Do change this because we put it into a new package. We're going to do dot and it should say OpenCV, so like that. And then that'll make it all happy. So it also, yeah, okay. So make sure you get rid of the period at the end. Besides that though, it should be happy. Okay, so once you have this April tag detection pipeline in, we need to make another code. So again, just how we copied the April tag detection pipeline, we need to go back and do the actual April tag, whatever examples. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to click on the right click on the OpenCV folder, make a new Java class, and we can name this whatever we want. So you can name it what that was, but that's kind of a complicated name, so I'm just going to name it camera underscore example, because I'm just going to do exa because I don't care about spelling. So you're going to get this new file here. So what I'm going to do, get rid of that, go back, and I'm just going to do the copy. So again, copy it. Make sure you are on the April tag detection, whatever .java, and then just paste that in. So you're going to have a couple of issues. So first off, if you named it differently like me, you're going to have to look for that. So let me find that real quick. So first off, first issue that we have is it needs to be .opencv, like so. And that's going to fix a lot of the issues that we are facing. Make sure you get rid of the period. And then also, of course, the naming issue. So I did camera underscore exa, like so, and voila. Now we have pretty much most of the code done. So I'm just looking back for reference. So what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way down until you find an integer. So I think I scrolled too far. Okay, it's this one right here. You want to look for this one, int equals tag of interest. So just get rid of that because we're not going to need that. But I like to do / tag IDs of whatever it is. So tag IDs of cone, or like I'm just going to do sleeve because that's kind of what's going on, right? So basically now, before you write any of the code, this is going to be different for each person, but you want to go back to this PDF. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. But again, because if everyone's going to be doing this, or if you know people are going to do this, I go for people, I mean for ones that you know you're not going to be doing. So actually I'm going to do 17, 18, and 19. So it doesn't really matter though. Just pick three three of these. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 17, 18, and 19. So first off, what you're going to do, I'm going to start with tag ID 17. I'm going to go back, and you're going to do write int, and then you're going to do, so for this one I'm going to do left. So tag 17 is going to equal the left one, so you're just going to do equals 17, except that wasn't an equal sign, was it? Equals 17, and then like that. Then I'm just going to do equal int, and I'm going to do middle equals 18, and then I'm going to be done. And I'm going to do int equals what is it, right equals 19. That's actually, yeah, because I don't know why I said 18, and actually you're not supposed to have that equals right there. Alright, so once you have that part done, you're pretty much almost set. So alright, so you want to scroll down to line 169. It'll do slash actually do something useful. Just go all the way down until you get to the you won't have this in your autonomous section, and just get rid of it because we're going to write our own. So what we're going to do first is if, and then we're going to do tag of interest like so. It'll probably show up right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do equals equals null. So pretty much what I like to do is on the first one we're going to set it as the left, but basically we're going to put two things. So first off, if tag of interest equals null, that's going to mean, oh, we didn't find anything. So if it didn't detect an April tag for some reason, maybe you had a camera malfunction in the event or something, it'll just run the left or the right or the whatever code, because it'll go for a 1/3 chance of you getting it right. So after that, you're going to want, on this one only, you're going to want to put the two things, and then you're going to do tag of interest, and then you're going to do .id like so, and then you're going to use equals equals left. So again, it doesn't have to be the left, but also I think I did a capital L. So yeah, like that. Okay. So then once it has that, I'm just going to give myself some space. And what I like to do is under this is where you put your left code in. So let's do / left code. So this is where if it detects the left April tag, which is 17 on your custom signal sleeve, then it's going to run the code that whatever you did for the left square or whatever you want it to do, right? So that's all great. Now you want to go back, and I'm just going to go like that. And also you got to put a bracket up here. So that's what I'm looking at right there. And then you want to go like that, do else, and then you're going to do else if, and then you're going to do tag of interest like so. And then you're going to do .id, and that I'm just going to do equals equals middle, so like that. Okay, now under here, as it's pretty obvious, you do / middle code like so, and then I just go back, and I think you got to put another bracket on it. Yep, you got to put another bracket on it. Sorry, like so. Then you're gonna go back like that. Then you're gonna do else if, and then you're gonna do tag of interest like so. You're gonna do .id equals equals right, and it's not minus minus. Sorry, my keyboard's messed up. Like that. Okay. Then just put / write code. But again, you're not going to put / write code. You're just going to write the code that you do for your left code, your middle code, your right code. And again, this if tag of interest equals null, it's probably easier actually if instead of that you put it. So I'm just actually going to get rid of that first. So I'm just going to do Control X, and what I'm going to do is paste like that. And I'm just going to do like that. Because I think it would actually be easier if you did it as your middle code. So again, once you have that done, there's not really a lot left to do on this code. You're pretty much set. We're gonna see, I think the code is mad about something, so I'm gonna look at what it's mad at real quick. Okay, it's this. So what you want to do is instead of tag of interest, what you want to do is you're just gonna want to do tag ID equals left. And I don't know what it's doing. Just want to do left, and then you want to do like that. You want to do middle, or you actually want to do tag ID equals middle. So let me just write this real quick. Tag ID equals middle. And did I capitalize that? I think I did. Like so. You just want to do that, and then you just want to do tag.id equals right, like so. All right. Once that is done, so sorry, that's something I forgot. So pretty much again, once you're done writing the code, and once you have all that stuff done, if this hasn't already showed up, like I have mine plugged in, right? So I'm just gonna unplug it and to show you what it'll kind of be like. So if you don't have your robot plugged in, for me, it's gonna have this Android emulator, but you're probably not gonna have anything here. So what you want to do is just take the orange cord that was included with your control hub or phone, or it doesn't have to be orange, but that's just the one that they included. Plug it in, like so. It'll probably bring this up. Don't worry about that. And then it'll probably show up with robotics control hub, or your phone name. It doesn't matter. And you just want to click this. Now you think it'd be this build button, right? But it's actually this run right here. So click build. It's gonna do its deal. It shouldn't take too long, but it can take a little bit of time. It's definitely slower than something like on.java, but for me, bam, it was done. So pretty much, guys, that is it with the tutorial. I will show you a couple of other things though. All right, so we're actually going to showcase how this works now. So basically, what you want to do is you just want to have so first off, we just have to make sure that we calibrate it correctly. So kind of have it like a distance like that. If what you want to do is you just want to put one of yours out. So I believe this is 19, that'll be right. In your autonomous code, you should see the, for me, I called it camera EXA, but again, whatever you called it in your thing, make sure your camera's on, obviously, and then just click the initialize, and it'll say, hey, camera is, in sight, and it'll say tag ID 19, which is what that is right there. So, I mean, great, right? So, another thing you can do is you can go to the three dots up here, type in, go to camera stream, it'll show where it's at. So for me, because it's a little bit to the, I forget what is it, right or whatever, left, yeah, right, when you're looking at it backwards, that's where it's going to be. But you can pretty much just click to update this, and that's all fine and dandy. But now that we know it's working, we're just going to go to the initialize, and it's going to take a few seconds every time you initialize it. So just what that means is, basically don't click it and then click again right away. Give it a few seconds, and then once it says tag of interest is in sight, you should be good to go. But okay, so now it says 19, but we're going to switch it to 17 actually, and again, tag ID 17. So I'm going to switch to 18 real quick, like so. Yep, okay, now it's 18. So right there, 18. So it pretty much works perfectly. Again, we don't actually have any code written, so if I initialize this, nothing's going to happen. But you would have code written, and you initialize that, it's going to do whatever you want it to do. So anyways, thank you for watching this tutorial, and bye.